Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, cultural hatred is everywhere, more or less. Is up in the open or is it hidden? We just have to have a little scuffle among ourselves and you're gonna see it right in display. In this case we have Ukraine and Russia. And unfortunately, they will resort to cultural, how should I put it, cultural attacks. If you remember, Ukraine made some laws about the Russian language and the Russian schools and the Russian radios and TV and blah, blah, blah after 2014. Remember that one? Well, if you don't know about it, do 2 clicks. Click, and you're gonna find these kind of clicks. You're gonna find what I'm talking about. That's why these guys, the Russians in the eastern Ukraine, said, "Oh my God, this is a cultural genocide." Now, a few days ago, I don't know if you heard about it. The Russians moved, how should I put it, remains of a certain person from Ukraine, removed it and transferred it into Russia because they were afraid that Ukrainians will desecrate that grave. I will talk about it in the context of this article that I have here. And here is an article from the New Voice of Ukraine, and this is the title: Monument of Catherine the Great in Odessa dressed up as executioner. And there's a picture here with Catherine the Great, I'm assuming, because I can see her face. She's got a red hoodie, and on her left hand it is like this, is a noose. Remember what happened with NASCAR, that guy here? That weasel. Anyway, so this article is from yesterday, November 2nd. Sternenko posted a photo of the altered monument. In it, the Russian empress head is covered with a red cap and a hangman's noose has been placed in her right hand. Earlier, the monument, the Empress Catherine the Great, was doused with red paint to symbolize the blood of Ukraine on her hands. Is she still alive? Last time I checked, no. In addition, a person unknown wrote Catherine equals Putin on the monument's pedestal. People in Odessa have regularly called for the monument, a symbol of Russian imperialism, to be demolished, but this has been strongly opposed by Odessa Mayor Hennady Trukhanov. In the past, Trukhanov has been accused of sympathizing with Russia. Moreover, he allocated more than $2,054,000 about of budget funds for paying for an armed guard for the monument, which has caused even more indignation among members of the public. So what do you think? I don't know how much you know about Catherine the Great, but I will just give you a short history of her. So she was the Tsarina of Russia. She was one who actually expanded some of the Russian territory through okay, with swords most likely, and with because in cannons. And she was a avid collectioner. So she collected a lot of paintings from the Russians. The money that she had, she bought a lot of paintings and artworks, and then they put it, I think it's in St. Petersburg Museum. You can go over there and see it. And this is what is with Tsarina. Tsarina had or more than one lovers, and this lover's name was Potemkin. He was a Russian general, and this guy was buried supposedly in the territory where nowadays is Ukraine. And the Russians, when they took over the territory. They dissumed, or how do you call it, got the guy out, moved it outside, because they were afraid that these guys who did this to a statue might do that to Potemkin. What do you think? Were they entitled to do that? Did they do a good thing? Because I was about to make a video on that one, but I said, well, how many people know about Potemkin? Well, some people maybe heard about Catherine the Great, but Potemkin, whatever, you know? So, but this one just raises the ball for a volley for me, because they were saying that, well, look what the Russians did by taking the bones of Potemkin, the remains, and they took him out, dug him out, and took him to Russia with them. Not good. I think they were perfectly right to do so, because, as I said many times before, those guys over there know one another or each other better than these guys here think they know them. That's why, now I'm going to try to build some credibility, is my time. When I tell you certain things that I know that occur in that part of the world, I tell you because I know how those nations, including Romania and all those, the Balkans, might react, most likely in a certain way, the way I know them. From the history, from direct experience, and so on. These guys just don't know shit. Let's put it this way. I'm talking about these guys, the intellectuals here. So yes, when the Russians dug up Potemkin, they did it because they knew who they deal with. Look what they did to a statue. Now, think about it. I know that some idiots here in the United States are of the same cloth. They are the same kind of idiots, and they want to demolish statues and so on for this reason and for that reason, as if they are pure, you know. And I cite the Bible when it's very convenient to me, okay? Obviously, I'm a weasel. In this case, yes. And I like this one. I think it's a very good thing. You know, remember when Jesus stopped those guys who wanted to stone to death by the Jewish tradition, by Moses' Mosaic tradition, stoned to death Mary Magdalene, I think she was. And she was a prostitute, was a lady of the night. And what did Jesus do? He said, the one who has no sins, cast the first stone, or rock, or whatever. And they had the, at least, morality to say, well, maybe, you know, conscious. Nowadays would be you, bang, 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 okay, basically. But the idea is, why would you push those guys down from their, you know, from the statues and paint them and all that? Do you think you're much better? First, you're an unknown person. You're a weasel. You're a person who doesn't know anything but destroy. Doesn't create. You destroy. Create something parallel. Build another statue that will be the opposite of that one if you believe that's only and all bad. Build something that's all good if you find it. Everything that you would put over there is going to be of a sinner. Something who did a hanky-panky somewhere. Including you. Including I, including you. We all did hanky-pankies. Otherwise we'll be Jesus Christ. Or whomever. So I hate these guys when they show this kind of exacerbated, how should I put it, inflated morality, display of morality and virtue, when actually they have nothing. They didn't create anything, and if they create something, they didn't create anything what the Tsarina created. But, you know, they think, oh, you are an imperialistic. Is that all? Is that all she did? Did that hurt you? Okay, is that all she did? That's why when you talk about a person, you don't talk about a person, all right, he cheated on his wife, he's a bad person. Yeah, in that instance, he's a bad person. But did he do anything else? Yeah, he saved like 50,000 people. In that instance, he saved that, and he invented the cancer vaccine. But he cheated on his wife, so he's a bad person. I'm just giving, so that's what you take. But you ignore everything else, you take his entirety. But you talk with weasels who think that they are so virtuous, they can point fingers and say, no, you should go, you should come. But who are you? What did you do? Show me, my critic, what do you have? Nothing. The same here. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Put that in the context of your country, your culture, and here. Let it be. That's an historical thing. And you can always point, if you want, based on your knowledge, that's a bad person over there. Because, and you teach your children. And someone comes and say, no, that's not true, children. That's a good person. And then you discuss, you debate. And you find out she was a good person and a bad person. Like you and I. It's true that some people commit much more crimes than we commit, but still, probably they also produce more valuable things than we produce. So that's why it's, I'm for knowledge. You want to destroy? It's the easiest way. It's hard to build, but it's easy to destroy. That's why you see all these weasels destroying left and right, because it's hard to build. Takes this, takes this, takes this, takes this, a lot of things. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.